Fallout 4's next-gen update running in 21:9 Ultrawide. It's a mixed bag. All footage is from the first hour of the game, with no story spoilers, running in the Ultra preset at 3440 by 1440. The game update itself is mostly focused on the consoles, but there are a few bug fixes, and Ultrawide support, obviously, for the PC, along with a few new pieces of Creation Club content. And at the time of recording, it's broken a good portion of mods. On one hand, the game's intro cinematic fills the entire display, whilst the game's field of view appears to be correct, showing more of the game world on the sides and not being stretched to fit. On the other, the user interface appears to be a combination of stretched, recentered, and misaligned. Interface elements like the Pip-Boy, worn on the character's arm, correctly center to the display without being stretched, and work pretty much perfectly. Other aspects, like the power armor, are misaligned and don't completely cover the entire display. This can also be seen with certain overlays during cutscenes, like the opening cutscene where the fog and water droplets on the mirror don't fill the entire display, and this can be rather noticeable.
War never changes.
You're gonna knock him dead at the Veterans Hall tonight, hun.
Other times it's not so much. The workshop, on the other hand, appears to be completely stretched to fit the expanded aspect ratio, and the green background is misaligned, and there are also missing icons all over the place that will never load in. They're completely functional, mind you, they just don't look quite right. Crafting stations appear to sit between being stretched and recentered, being wider than they are on a standard widescreen display, but not being completely stretched out. During some scenes in the game, you may notice clipping, where the extra width over a standard widescreen display isn't taken into account, and items simply disappear. This is noticeable to a small extent in some of the pods in the opening. This is also an issue with a bunch of other games, so your mileage may vary. Terminals correctly center to the display and show more on the left and right of the game world. And the cinematic conversation camera centers correctly on characters.
That'd be great.
But it may be slightly more zoomed, but this could also just be the way the camera moves. None of these are game-breaking, but you can certainly look past them, but they ain't quite right. Performance in general is mostly decent. I've certainly read that performance can be far worse than the pre-patch state, but I haven't noticed any of that myself in the few hours that I've played, outside of a few frame drops here and there. There's also Z-fighting and flashing textures on occasion, but these also appear on all versions of the game. I'll leave you with a few minutes of uninterrupted gameplay so you can get an idea of the game. Hope that you find this helpful, and thanks for watching.
Someone there?
Sweet. Terminal data.